Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Claude Code. I've got another Glow Getter interview for you today. But before we get into it, if you could please hit the subscribe button, also give us a thumbs up, and, ask me a question down in the comments about women's wellness. I love getting your questions and answering them and being able to help you. So Jessica, she was a one-on-one elite client, and she also did business coaching with me. And she came to me to really, get some support during her postpartum. It was her second child. She didn't want to go through postpartum depression again. So she reached out to me and asked me for my support. She wanted to lose the baby weight, but also make sure that she could navigate any depression or anxiety that she came up against. And not only did she do that, but she totally changed careers. And it was beautiful to watch her grow as a woman. And yeah, the weight came off and she showed up with her baby in hand. I believe he was 4 weeks old at the time. And she made a complete career switch in the middle of us working together and has totally transformed her mindset and her life. Take a listen.
Welcome to the Cloud Code!
Hello, Jessica. How are you? I'm good. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for having me. Oh my gosh. The honor and the pleasure is all mine. You look beautiful as always. Thank you. So do you. I love your hair right now. It's just gorgeous. So thank you. I know when you cut it, you're like, okay, it feels nice. And then a week later, you're like, I want my long locks back. Right. I do that all the time. As you can tell, like I'm so used to my long hair that if I even cut it like just like 3 inches, I'm like, oh no, I'm missing some. You are hashtag hair goals for sure. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, so enough about me and my hair dreams. Can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you do, your life? Sure. So my name is Jessica. I am from Fort Worth, Texas, born and raised, and I'm in the mortgage industry. Actually, when you met me, Claude, I was in a different job, and I'm in a new job now. So yeah, but still in the mortgage industry. And I'm a mom of 2 boys. 2 boys. And just because you never know when somebody is listening who can relate, who can go, oh my gosh, there is someone else like me out there. Your first boy, oh my gosh, it's not Ethan. Easton. Oh, I was so cool. He has something. Right. Yeah, so when I first got pregnant, we were diagnosed with something called amniotic banding syndrome. It is basically a lining of your placenta breaks, basically, and it's just fibers, and they got caught around him, and it caused his right leg below his knee not to grow. We're missing a few fingers on our left hand. He was born with a cleft lip and a cleft palate. He has a heart condition, but he's almost 7 years old. He is thriving and surviving. He's amazing. He is smart. He's active. I can't keep up with him. So, I mean, he's amazing. He's my hero. He is, when you talk about your why, he is my why. 100% he is my why. I can only imagine. And I've seen videos of him, and he just recently got like a new prosthetic leg. How is that going for him? It's the best leg we've ever had. So we've had 6 legs now. This is our 6th leg that we're on. He's almost 7. And this is the best leg we've had. It's like a blade, and he thinks it makes him go faster, which it does. It does make him go faster, but he is like super fast, flash lightning in this leg. Right. I love kids because kids and animals, they can have something going on and they never complain. It's just, they live life how we wish we could live it with all of our limbs, and that just life, no excuses. I love he's so resilient, and he is so creative when it comes to finding things that he can do differently than other kids. So, it's not that he can't do things other kids can do. He just does them differently. So it may take him a little bit longer to figure it out, and it may look different when he figures it out, but he will most definitely figure it out. So good. And your second son is... what is he, like 8 months? He is 8 months. Oh my gosh, I'm so impressed that you remembered. Yes, he is almost 8 months now. I delivered him last October. So yes, he is almost 8 months right now. I know. So how are you doing as a new job? I am doing amazing. You know, I got this new job. So I'm a loan officer now. So I'm basically self-employed for the most part. So I am in 100% sales and I'm having so much fun doing it. The creative part of my brain is firing on all cylinders. So it's been fun to get out there and do something different in this space that I've been in for so long. It's fun to wear a new hat. Yeah. But being a mom, I'm loving my mom role. Kind of sliding into this, one of the things that really caused me to sign up with you is that I was terrified of postpartum again. You know, with Easton, not only was I dealing with stuff for him, because his first surgery was when he turned 6 months old. So it was the stress of getting ready for that. And I was not paying attention to myself. I wasn't paying attention to the cues that my body was giving me. I wasn't paying attention to what I was eating, to what I was drinking, how I was treating myself. It was horrible. And it caused me to have this postpartum depression. It caused me to have all of these health issues for years after that. And I was terrified of going through that again with my second. And going through the program, like 2 months after, a month after I gave birth, I think I signed up with you and going. I took no time. I was like, all right, he's out, let's go. But going through the program, I am 100% a different person than who I was postpartum with my first.
I
thought
feel
it for the better.
Because we worked one-on-one. So Jessica is one of my elite clients. And, you know, first of all, I was so impressed with a month postpartum, how you were showing up for yourself to all of your girls. Not only did you want to come to me for health, but you also wanted me to help you with your business.
Right.
And I can really say, like, the woman I met when we had our first call to the woman who left this program, like, and it goes so far beyond this particular interview, everybody out there listening, so far beyond weight loss. It's like you literally changed like your career, your life, your daily routine, like how you show up for you.
Right. Oh, it's because I knew I was saving my own life. I knew that if I was going to go through postpartum like I did the first time around, I was going to die. I did not want to be that person. So I was like, this is it. I took a home equity line of credit out of my house to pay for our coaching together because it was that important. I knew that my health, not only just the weight loss, I mean, losing the baby weight, that was such a small percentage of what my intention with you was. But it was the mindset. It was, okay, I need to make sure that I show up for myself, for my health, but I need to make sure I show up for myself as Jessica. I cannot lose her. I cannot lose sight of what I'm going for. I cannot lose myself in this postpartum that I know is about to hit me like a wave. And I knew I needed you for that.
Well, and it's like, wow, there's a lot of women who have this fear, but do nothing about it. Or maybe they don't feel like anybody can help them, or they don't deserve the help. They're not worthy, but you knew that you were worthy. You knew that you were worth saving, that your own life was worth saving, not just for you, but for your husband and your children.
Right.
And I just remember how badly you really wanted, like, to be better. Like, you just wanted to be better. I remember you had, didn't you, like, wasn't it your thing to have like tequila or something, like, or whiskey? Like, was that you?
That was one of the hardest parts of the program for me, was to not drink, because that has been historically my safety net. You know, that has been my, these thoughts, these things are coming up in the back of my mind. I know how to shut all that up. I'm going to drink. I'm going to have a cocktail. And it was never to like get drunk or black out. It was just take that edge off. So I was leaning on alcohol as my, like, I need a little bit of a prop here. I need a little bit of a help here. And that's what I was using alcohol for, because just a cocktail would do it for me every night, you know? But that was one of the biggest things I took away from the program, is dying to myself every day. I think we talked about this on one of our calls one time, but it was about dying to yourself. And to die to myself every day was such a huge thing for me. But with consistent action over time, I was able to do that without it hurting so much, you know? So I think really taking inventory of yourself and like you doing those little mind checks every day, like, okay, where am I mentally? How am I feeling? And knowing those cues from yourself, like, man, I'm feeling like this. I know that if I do A instead of B, I'll feel better about what I'm doing with my life. So I probably just need to get some exercise. I probably just need to go out and get some sunshine. I probably just need to drink more water. I need to eat more meat. Like, those are the things that I was like, okay, I know now from working with Claude that these things work. That I don't need to have alcohol. I don't need to lay down for a nap. And now dying to yourself, alcohol. Oh, just taking cues from my own body and just knowing that I'm working with you. I knew that if I did these certain things, that I would feel better. So like consistently sticking to the diet, consistently not drinking alcohol, consistently getting up every morning and working out. As I did those things consistently over the time that we spent together, it was so apparent that those things not only just worked for the end result that I was looking for, I was losing weight, but they worked for my mindset. Like, I needed that for my mindset because right now, I'm not getting 8 hours of sleep. I wish I was, but with an 8-month-old, I'm not getting 8 hours of sleep. And I wish I could tell you that my stress is totally under control and I have no stress. I have tons of stress, but I know that if I do these small actions consistently and I stay on top of it, I'm better. I'm a better person.
Yeah. And if you know, as a new mom, there are a lot of things that are out of your control, like sleep, or like a schedule. I mean, we had so many calls where you were holding little baby, not Easton, Aiden, little baby Aiden, and he was crying, or you had to walk around with him, like, you adapted. But there are a lot of things that are out of your control. So how about the things you can control, like you put in your body and getting some movement in and some sunshine and maybe a couple other little habits that on your own you may have never thought of.
Right.
And that's why it's so important, like making the investment. Like, you guys heard Jessica, like, she took out like a line of credit, and none of us have gotten here on our own. None of us have made an investment that felt comfortable, because God's never checking your bank account. He is checking your faith. And when you see women like Jessica go from, whatever she was dealing with, taking a line of credit, to now a whole new career, right? You did actually lose some weight. You have new habits. You know what foods to eat. You know what workouts to do, right? It didn't come without a little faith check.
Like, it didn't come without sacrifice. That's for damn sure. Not only sacrifice, just getting pushed out of my comfort control, but yeah, the HELOC, that was scary. That was a scary thing to do, taking a line of credit out of my house. But I know I needed to. I saw the person I was trying to be, and I saw the future I saw for myself, and I knew I had to do it. Like, I just knew it. I was convinced. Like, it was so obvious. I was like, I have to do this. If I want to be where I want to be, if I want to be where I have decided I need to be, I need to make this investment. I need to make this sacrifice. I need to do these things to move forward. And I had to. There was no negotiation. It was just, I had to.
And you guys, if you ever wonder, like, oh, how does she do it? It must be so easy for her. It's not easy for any of us. It's scary for all of us. You make that investment and, like, your stomach's in your throat and you're like, oh my God, what did I just do? What you just did is, like, made the best bet on yourself, and you told God, I'm worthy. Right.
And I continue to do these things even past, our time together. So it's not like, okay, I had my 12 weeks or whatever with Claude. This is a lifestyle change. Like, you just don't do this program and then go back and expect things to be all great again. Like, this is a daily commitment to doing these things moving forward. And, like, when I tell you that I've continued these things, like the scheduling thing, my schedule still isn't perfect. I have a set things of non-negotiables that I have to get done every day. And if I wake up at 4 a.m. every single day to get them done, so I have to win my day by 7 a.m. If I do not win my day by 7 a.m., it's chaos. So I know I have non-negotiables to do in the morning before the rest of my house wakes up. And that's hard. That is not easy for me to do every single day. It sucks. I don't want to wake up at 4 a.m. When my alarm goes off at 4 a.m., I'm like, no. I'm not like, oh, yeah, I get to work out and read my book and get ready for the day and do my devotional. I'm not like that. I don't want to do it. But you have to. You have to die to yourself. You have to sacrifice every single day in order to be the person that you're striving to be.
Yeah, because that version of you that you want to be, like you keep saying, like that woman that I wanted to be, the woman that I, envisioned, she doesn't have the habits that you have now.
Right.
She doesn't live her life the way you live it now. And I think you said something earlier, like you have to audit, like you have to really look and be like, okay, what choices am I making every day that clearly are not aligned with a better life, with a better version of me? And we can't do it alone. Like none of us got here alone. I can't stress that enough. What do you think was the hardest part for you to change?
The hardest part for me to change was definitely my mindset. That was one obstacle that I really had to get over and to really take inventory of myself. And it still continues to be something that I have to check in with, but it's my mindset, not only of can I do the things that I want to do, it's mostly how am I going to. I have to change that question. It's like kind of like a wordplay. I have to trick myself into doing it. It's not can I do these things, it's how am I going to do these things. And it's, again, because it's a non-negotiable now. I'm refusing to give up on future Jessica. So can I get there? That's not the question anymore. It's how can I get there? And what additional sacrifices do I need to make during the day to make sure I get there without sacrificing, obviously, who I am. And like, I'm a mother, I'm a wife. I have non-negotiables in my life, but sure, I'm putting myself, not first now, but I am putting myself way above where I used to, because I used to not put myself first, but now that is something that I have changed, and that took me a hot minute to change. So it was that mind shift that took me, that was the hardest thing for me to do.
And I think, you keep bringing up non-negotiables, and I think a lot of women may have non-negotiables, but it's for everyone else but them. It's like, well, it's non-negotiable for me to, get my children ready for school and feed them and take them to school and, make my husband his lunch. Like, I won't miss that, but I will, movement for myself or 15 minutes outside in the sunshine or bath. And so, I wanted to just clear that up, that what Jessica's talking about are non-negotiables for her body, her health.
And that's what it was for me too, because I was worried about my husband. I was worried about my kids, and these non-negotiables were just for me. And how I changed that how I shifted my mindset for that was, how do I think my husband's going to look at me if I'm not treating myself right, if I'm not working out, if I'm not getting myself ready for the day, if I'm not making sure I feel good in my skin that I'm in? How do you think he's going to look at me and feel about me? How are my kids going to look at me and feel about me if I'm overweight and I'm so unhealthy that I can't carry them around and I can't coach their soccer team and I can't provide for our family? If they see me thriving, if they see me being the best me that I can be, they are going to grow from that. They're going to grow from that more than me catering to them.
That's the most selfless thing,
right,
anyone on here has ever said. I mean, listen, all of us, all glow getters are pretty selfless women, because they're, at the end of the day, like, maybe you do start for you, but the why is always so much more vast than that. It's like, how is this affecting my husband? How is my lack of confidence and my lack of health and me hating the body I'm in affecting my husband, my children? What example am I setting? And that's so selfless. And at the end of the day, like, we are all here to help make this planet better. And it starts with you. It does. It starts with you. And then you start to see that, okay, well, me being better has an effect on my children. It has an effect on my parents and my husband and blah, blah, blah. And pretty soon it's like, you're the last person it's about. It's like,
yeah. And it's so fun to see how this journey with you, because really signing up with you was a catalyst for so many other things in my life, because through this and through treating myself better and through this mindset shift for myself, I have been able to find bigger purpose for my life. Like my walk with God has become clearer. My purpose that God has called me to do in this life has become clearer. My purpose for my children has been like, things have started, like the dominoes started to fall as soon as I started to work with you. What to do after this? Like that, my journey beyond this has become exponentially better because of working with you. That's what started all of this. So like, it didn't just change the 12 weeks that I worked with you. It has changed everything since then. It has been when I say it's a lifestyle change, this has been a lifestyle change.
And it all started with one decision. Like, it is impossible to really know, like, what's going to come out of it. What is possible for you as a woman? What we don't know. And we will never know until we take that first step.
Right.
And that one decision to just go all in, propelled. And this is what I always say. It's like you said, it's a catalyst. It's like that started the wheel spinning, and then it opened up this opportunity. And then you grew as a woman. You're like, when you gain more confidence, let's say, maybe all of a sudden you're like, I'm not putting up with this shit job anymore. Right. And then another opportunity opens up and you're like, oh my gosh, this is kind of like the job of my dreams. But that job of your dreams would have never presented itself had you not taken that first step. And I want every woman out there that's listening to really understand the power you have in making that one decision, right?
It's true.
Change your trajectory.
Yep. And it did for me, because within the first, I want to say month maybe of working with you, I had lost almost all of my baby weight. I had quit my job. I had taken a national exam to get my loan officer's license. I had gotten another job of being a loan officer. Like, these things like just happened. It was amazing how that one decision and the confidence in myself of saying, okay, I'm going to make these small sacrifices daily. I'm going to commit to these things every single day and keep my head down and grind. The doors that opened following that, it's unexplainable how it happened. It was a God thing. It was moving forward, taking that one decision. And it's amazing how those dominoes fell and the doors opened, those opportunities presented themselves, and I had the confidence to walk through them successfully.
Yes. And what would you say now about the investment? Like, for me, the investments I've made, I would make all over again and probably double them, knowing the change they've created in my life.
Oh, totally. Yeah. So dollar for dollar, it's worth it. To sign up to do this, it's not even just about weight loss. The way that it will change your life, if you put in the work, it will change your life. And I don't know if you can put a dollar amount on that. The working with you made me see the value in investing in coaches that I've hired 2 coaches since then for 2 different things. So, I mean, and again, both big investments that I had the money to do. Like, it's amazing how God provides when you find they're like, oh, this is it. This is what works. This is what I'm supposed to do. God will provide. He will put the people in your life that you need. And if you see the value in coaches and something resonates with them, with you, like it did for us, like I had watched you for years prior to signing up with you, but it's because I genuinely liked you. Like, your life spoke to me and you resonated with me. And the same with these other coaches now. Like, what they were doing made sense to me and I could see the value that they could add to me. And so I invested in that. So even just the investment it's nothing now. Like, I would do it all over again without even blinking. There is no hesitation in the investment.
And I only say that because when you make the investment, like, it is always scary.
Right.
It is scary for me. It's always scary. It's like,
right.
Oh my God, like we talked about this earlier, but the reward, the return on your investment that you're going to get.
Oh yeah. Tenfold. Like, yeah, tenfold. And let me just ask you, the first big investment that you made for a coach, probably scary, right? But the investment that you made for coaches after that, was it as scary as that first time? No. Yeah. You didn't even think about it. You're like, got it, done, go. Let's do it.
started with a $4,500 investment that I paid monthly. So it was like, I don't know, maybe it was like $1,200 something for 4 months, which was terrifying at the time.
Right.
I was living with my parents. And then my next big investment was $7,500. And that was for my mentor who showed me how to do the online coaching, like what apps to use, how to deliver it, like all of that. And it was half of everything I had to my name at the time.
Wow.
Yeah. And I felt crazy. I was like, oh my God, I think I just like wasted this. No, I made that money back. I quadrupled it in a month. And that's just the power of like, that's your own power of like pushing forward and saying, yes, I'm worth it. And when you jump and you listen to God, because when something like this presents itself to you, it is an answer from God. Like this, here it is.
Right.
And you jump and he will catch you. There's no way he's going to dangle fruit in front of your face and be like, look, here's the answer to all your prayers, that you've prayed about. And then just like, oh, there you go, and let you fall. That's crazy.
Right.
But he's looking to see, like, he's always wanting us to have more faith, more trust.
Right.
And so he's going to do that by placing very uncomfortable situations in our lives. And we're like, trust you, God. I know you got this. Anyway.
Well, it's never comfortable. When you feel uncomfortable about a big step that you're going to make, since I've made a few large steps after I signed up with you, now when I'm faced with that fear that like, oh, I'm about to take a big step, so like I'm scared, I get excited about it now. Like I'm like, oh, I'm on the brink of something really amazing and really big, and I'm excited to like free fall into this because I've seen what it can do for you. I've seen what that big jump and that scary feeling, what that is now, and it's exciting now. I love it.
Yes. Yeah. And it's just like anything else. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Same with investments. But you have to rip that Band-Aid off of that first one that feels like you're going to die if you make it. And know that that's the right one. Like that's it. Okay. It feels terrifying. That's the one.
Right.
I've always been in awe of you since the beginning because you showed up with your tiny baby, and when my baby was a month old, there's no way I would have ever done anything of this magnitude. So I have the utmost respect for you. Thank you for sharing, the biggest shift. The hardest thing was the mindset, biggest win, lifestyle change, new career. Any last words you want to say to any women out there who are listening who are struggling and were where you were 8 months ago?
Sure. I mean, what can't I say in regards to signing up and doing this? So if you've been following Claude, if you follow her and you like her and her message resonates with you and you feel like you're about to lose yourself, you need guidance, you need to see the light somewhere, because I can tell you I've been in that darkest pit where you just feel like you're lost and you're losing yourself and you're uncomfortable and you're sad and you're depressed and you're overweight. You don't feel like you're yourself anymore. There was that time before I signed up with Claude, I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, I don't even recognize who I am anymore. What I see in the mirror isn't who I am. And that was terrifying to me. So that jump to sign up, it was to save my life. Like that saved my life. That changed the trajectory of my life, because I had seen where my life went after my first kid, after having my first child. I saw where that took me, and I do not want to go back there. I cannot go back to postpartum without the help of somebody like Claude. Like I can't go through that again. So I needed you. I needed you to help me on that path after having a kid, to finding myself again, to feeling like myself again, to find my purpose again. And at the time, I don't think I realized the magnitude of what your program was going to do for me. I didn't realize that it was going to be so life-changing. I just thought about the weight. That was a huge thing, was I need to lose the baby weight. But God, the things that followed after that, the doors that opened, the epiphanies that I had, these moments that I'll carry with me through the rest of my life, those are insurmountable and you can't put a price tag on it. So if that's where you're at, if that is remotely where you see yourself, you don't have any choice but to sign up, to take this journey with Claude, because if you're going to lose yourself, wouldn't you pay any amount of money to find yourself again, to live, not only for yourself, but for your kids, for your husband? Like, it still astounds me that some women hold off on signing up with you because of the cost, because in the long run, I promise you that it won't mean a damn thing after you're done. You'll do it. You would do it all over again.
And pay double, which is what I said.
Double. Yeah.
And that's the thing is, like, for all the moms specifically, if your kid needed $2,000 tomorrow,
You'd find it.
you would find it.
Yeah. No doubt.
You would fucking drive and swim to Africa if you had to save your child, because it is important to you. And you bring up a really good point, Jessica, that some women don't feel worthy. They don't feel like they should spend this money on them. But as you can see, all the power is within you. And your children deserve this version of you. Your husband and your partner deserve this version of you. You deserve this version of you.
Right.
And so
You're investing in a better mom. You're investing in a better wife. You're not just investing in a better you. You're investing in a better person for the rest of your family.
yes.
So if you got to think about it that way, you can think about it that way, because that's
Yeah. And like Jessica started posting on Instagram and like about her son and her journey, and like, you inspire me. You know, you guys, be your own inspiration, and just know that just like Jessica, you have the power within to create whatever life you want. You just have to take that jump.
right.
Jessica, thank you so much for coming on today and sharing your beautiful spirit with us and your story. And you are I love you to death. And
Thank you. I love you, and I can't thank you enough for the path that you helped me lay out in front of myself. Like, I couldn't have done that without you inspiring me every day. There are things that you put out there that I don't know if you realize it or not, but the way that you inspire women and moms, it's magical, what it does for people. And there's these little things that every now and then they're aha moments. So I thank you. Thank you for having me on today. Thank you for wanting to interview me. Thank you. Thank you for everything.
I mean, I am only possible because of you and my other clients. And my gratitude is all to you, and for taking the time out of your busy mom and work schedule to do this. I appreciate you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this episode with Jessica, and we will see you guys on the next one. Bye.